Hi there, and in this part we'll be finishing off the swamp finally. Now, like I said before, I hope you have two sledgehammers at hand, because those weapons will become very useful in the for the boss for this stage here. And now you can see we're passing through the sort of drawbridge area here, which this area it becomes a little more important near the end of the game. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And I like that statue there, the guy manning his post. Even when he was turned to stone. I bet you could even say he's quite stoned, but dumb-dish, and all that jazz. But anyway, yeah, Fleece died here. But we can just resurrect her, so no harm, no foul. Yeah, like I was saying before, these Batchoids, I would say for the most part they're a weak enemy, but yeah, they can surprise you. And I never said this before, but I like Fleece's name. Oh, and by the way, here we find one of the daggers. Now, like I said before, these daggers, we need 4 of them to unlock the boss arena, if you will. But really, I'm going to show you where to find them all. But yeah, I wouldn't say you need a guide, really. You just need to be thorough. They are all around the palace. So just check every room, and you should eventually find it. Pressing X, the examine button, constantly, hoping your character will notice something here. But there we go. And yeah, definitely, like I was saying before, this dungeon is definitely the most non-linear. You can take numerous routes around, and it's fairly open. You just go around all these rooms here. When playing this game, when we get to this point, when we have all 4 members of our team here, I tend to go in a sort of automatic mode. Just sending Joseph with the fire attacks. Then Jakar will come in with some physical attacks, and Fleece as well, while Rosalind just heals and casts spells. Granted, I guess I don't want to say restrictive, but well, put it this way, you just tend to fall into a regular pattern. But then again, that's just the name of the game, I guess. You have these characters, and you just apply them to their most obvious skills. I guess if you wanted a challenge in this game, you could, use Rosalind as a melee fighter. Although I don't know why you would want to do that. Like I said, just for a challenge, obviously. And speaking of conditions, I know a lot of people who like RPGs tend to play the same ones over and over, like the really pro, hardcore gamers, and they like to set conditions when they play the game. Like one of them being, defeat Final Fantasy 1 with 4 fighters, or 4 black mages, or 4 white mages even. And I like the way I said defeat Final Fantasy. Like you're not even, not beat the game, but defeat Final Fantasy, the game itself. It would be a fairly easy victory, to be honest. I mean, a game disc can't really handle that much punishment. Just get a Brillo pad and just scrape it, and there you've won. That's if Final Fantasy even come out on a disc, which it didn't, I think. I know it didn't originally, of course, but I'm thinking of re-releases. But yeah, if I were to play this game, what conditions could I set on myself? Like, try and beat this game with, let's say, no summons. Which is actually ridiculously easy to do, because your characters are actually better than the summons. No, like I said before, defeat it without using magic. Oh, now this fountain here, I love it. It's so dark. It's a blood fountain. And here we pick up one of the daggers, I think. There we go, yeah. And later on, remember where that fountain is, because we'll need to know that for a side quest. But yeah, what conditions could I put on myself when if I wanted to beat this game again under more difficult conditions? I think one of them could be, of course, not using Felice's backstab ability. Although the very first time I played this game, I didn't know about her backstab ability, or at least I didn't know how to use it. So yeah, I've actually done that condition already once before. And at this point we have two ways to travel here. Now, in the other hallway, the other flight of stairs from this hallway leads to an empty room, which I didn't really show off because there's nothing in it. And I get the feeling there was supposed to be something in that other room, like a special item. Oh, but saying that, I think one does appear, later on in the game. But anyway, we go up this passage, and this is where the other dagger is. So there we go. I feel sorry for these golems because they're picked off fairly easily. Although I do remember the first time I played this game, I used Joseph and Jakar both had swords, so I'll be hacking away at these golems for quite a while. But now we'll just literally demolish them with these hammers. So there you go. Speaking of which, these these golem types of enemies, they do appear throughout the game, and we get to see lots of different versions of them. Well, I'll say lots. I think there's like 5. Oh, we do get to have one as a summon. Now we'll see that later on, but the golem summon is fairly useful actually. And something else I'll point out here is I actually don't use a summon when completing this dungeon, and the reason for that is I just don't think the summons you have now would be particularly useful, at this point in time. That, and I honestly forgot. I completed this dungeon and I forgot, I didn't show off a summon. I mean, don't worry, you will get to see all the summons in the game, I think. Later on, but, just not for this dungeon. I do like the sound effect of the healing magic. Although it sounds so familiar, I mean, let's be honest, it is a stock sound effect. And you do hear stock sound effects a lot in games. And I think that's just the reason it could be, I would say it's down to budget. Because it's just easier to, get to use sound effects from a library than go out and actually record them yourself. I mean, granted, a lot of games still record all, original sound effects because they want to sound different, but that and a lot of stock sound effects do sound quite distinctive. But then again, you do what you can do with the time and money you have. So there you go. That, and really, I would say voice acting is probably more important. To get the unique voices. I do like this dungeon. It's one of my favourites, concept-wise. Even though it's a bit complex to navigate. Oh, by the way, this is the necklace for the Ghost of Akamos side quest. And as you can see, it's outside the palace, round the back. Like so, on your way to the palace's front door, turn right and follow the walls until you get the necklace. But, you can see the path I take on my way back here. Yeah, but anyway, that necklace, that bugged the crap out of me the first time I played this game, because I searched the entire palace, then I searched nearly the whole swamp the very first time, trying to find it. And it is a big dungeon, with 2 big areas. It is quite a pain. But anyway, we give it back to the Wraith here, and finally his soul can rest in peace. And something I am grateful for is that they don't, they just give you this one side quest for this swamp dungeon. Because other than that, it's that, it's the ghost and these 4 daggers. And really these 4 daggers feel like story items anyway. Items you'll find anyway, if you just go through the dungeon. But other than that, what I'm trying to say, it's a very simple dungeon. Very few quests and side quests. Well, what I mean is, what you don't have to do much, but it is a complex dungeon. So there's little to do and a lot to explore. That's what I'm trying to say, I suppose. Now, of course, we're about to face a boss, so heal up and cast Bless if you can. Cast spells if you got them. And also regenerate as well. just generally buff yourself up. But like I said, very important, make sure you equip your 2 heroes with sledgehammers. That will make this fight ridiculously easy. Whoa, this guy looks stoned. I'm sorry, that's the best joke I could come up with. This isn't exactly a Mystery Science Theater 3000. Although, when you watch me talk over cutscenes, you can probably tell I'm influenced by those guys. But, yeah, like I said, nothing much to say about this guy. Except that, of course, being a statue, he is resistant to fire, ice, electric, sharp, and piercing attacks. So pretty much, it's just blunt. Yeah, and what's interesting is that this guy's a former summoner, so that's... You know, they don't even say anything to each other. You know, maybe Joseph is like, hey, I'm a summoner too, you know, do me a favour. Oh, and I like how this guy attacks Fleece, when these 2 guys are literally demolishing him with sledgehammers. Yeah, the first time I did this with 2 swords, and it took forever. And in fact, I kind of feel bad for him. It's it's ridiculous. It's ridiculously easy.
I have gained new insight.
Good for you, Rosaline. And yeah, that's it. I hope you didn't blink, because you would have missed that. But anyway, we get the Ring of Stone off this guy, and that's actually one of the best rings out of these story rings or whatever, because it gives you extra 40 HP. Very nice. And then Nodachi. Nodachi? I think that's how it's pronounced. Oh, sorry, I'm not really good at made-up Chinese. Sorry. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.